mechanism for or even perceived willingness of the mayor and town council to interact with the business community. Examples include directional signage, surveys, grants that could positively impact our community, persistent parking and snow removal issues, and the pending revision of the town's general signage ordinance. How would you, as mayor, ensure direct and consistent interaction with the business community, including both existing businesses and new businesses?
So at the outset, one of my advantages of being running for office here is that I grew up in the downtown community. And I have real intimate relationships with a lot of the business owners and walking down the streets. I also spent some time with my family when they had a business in the Uptown Plazas, and I know the relationship with Dave Cordish and some of the Plaza people. And I think one of the main things we need to do is start again. We need to evaluate how Chestertown does business and stop doing business as sections, as looking at the downtown and looking at Midtown and looking at the college and looking at the plazas as separate entities. One of my initiatives is to start an organization called a Community Development Corp. It's a CDC. It's very similar to the Main Street model that we've had here before. It's been wildly successful in other communities. But what a CDC does is allow us to evaluate our business practices for the entire community. It's also an extra government nonprofit that works hand in hand with the municipality, but also as a nonprofit allows us to funnel grant money to specific businesses. There are a ton of programs statewide that the town can become a conduit for, can become the gateway for, that we need to provide as the shining hand out front. We need to reach out to these people and say, we're ready for them. But unless we have the procedures and the way to do that, we need to learn to do those, and we need to put on our best foot forward. Thanks.
Ms. Geddes.
I think that establishing a good, active relationship with the office, with the business community, part of it is that the mayor needs to be available to go to at least some of the DCA meetings, and thereby being able to hear what the business community is talking about. But I think one of the other things that we have to do is look for, as was said, the town can be a conduit for a lot of things, for money for restoration of housing and business properties, so that they can be used the way they were originally designed and therefore be profitable to the individual owner and to the town. One of the things I'd like to see is that the town has the opportunity to get the broadest, biggest FiOS cable. With that, a lot of towns are using that opportunity to become a hub that can then push the stuff out to private people and to businesses and nonprofits. It adds to telecommuting. It adds to the possibility of internet that supports environmental studies, all sorts of things. But I think that that you have to have the kind of thought that this is going to be a broad base, not just tourism and shops, but a broad based economy.
Mr. Payne.
I don't go out to say that I have all the answers, and so I think that's what I bring to the table is that everyone that has a stake in the town is just as important as I am, and so my goal would be visible, to be out at the meetings to see, talk to people, whatever concerns they have, let them know that their concerns are being heard, that they are important, that things are going to happen. You kind of be that person that's there, that's kind of to bring all communities together, all parts together to improve the town as a whole.
Mr. Serino.
Well, I think the question was, what is the mechanism that we can create to basically open up a consistent dialogue between the town leaders and the business leaders? Because the people who know best about what needs to change in our business climate are the business owners. And I think right now there's at least a perception that there's a lack of communication. So one of my ideas that I've been sort of rolling out there in all of my interviews is that I think that one of the first things that I would institute would be a series of 3 business forums for each of our commercial districts. And they're each very different with very unique strengths and very unique challenges. There's our C1 General Commercial District, which basically runs from Kent Plaza to Washington Square. There's our C2 commercial district, which is our historic district where we're sitting here right now. And then there's a C3 district, actually, which starts basically from Aquafit down to Radcliffe Mill, and also from about High Street up to Washington College. Each one of those districts is very, very unique. And the purpose of these forums would simply be to bring our town council and mayor together with our business community and say, what is working for you? When do people come to your shops? When are you profitable? What, if anything, is the town doing that is detrimental to your business? And what, if anything, can we do collaboratively to improve the business climate where you are located? Whether that's in downtown, maybe it's creating more events in the winter. On Kent Plaza, maybe it's working with the owner to do some fix-ups on the parking lot that have been needed for over 2 decades. But basically reaching out and creating and institutionalizing a dialogue that happens regularly throughout the year would be the first thing that I would do to address that issue.
Thank you, Ms. Brown.
Well, first of all, I think that all of the businesses, you are the best advocate for your business. And I think that if you really want to have the business that you so desire to have, then we need to have some dialogue. We need to have some really good communication going on. We need to have some town hall meetings so we can involve other people in the community to come and listen to your ideas and you listen to their ideas. I think, first of all, the one major thing that we should have is an open line of communication where the door shall always be open to hear from you. I have been in a situation where I've tried to contact some people that are in higher position and kind of was put on the back burner. So we need to have an open door policy where you can come and air your concerns and your complaints or whatever, and then ask, how can we help you and how can we work together to get you where you need to be?
Thank you. Ms. Kuiper.
Being on the council for the past 2 years, I have the most diverse ward in Chestertown. I have residents, I have the Washington College, and I have the downtown. I have the marina. I have the waterfront. I have the farmer's market. I don't think what should be done. I have done what should be done. I communicate with everybody, and I think you'd probably be pretty hard pressed to challenge me that I couldn't connect one business with another or one person with another, and the resources that I've had available and the resources that I've made available to people. One of the biggest problems when I've talked to new businesses is the sign ordinance. There is no reason why our sign ordinance has to be limited to one sign when we have the resources from other major municipalities within the state of Maryland and within other states to find out what they are doing to revitalize their towns. I have come back from the last conference with roundtable suggestions. All the municipalities are doing it, not Chestertown. I was told we'll have one person visit every business. And we also had every business come to a town meeting and tell us what their concerns were about the sign ordinance and what they would like to have for their businesses. Why can't they be heard?
Thank you. Mr. Fletcher.
Yes, I'd just like to say one thing. I'm not a politician. I'm here because I'm a native and I'm concerned. I love my community. If I wasn't able to manage or tell you I can do things, I wouldn't be in front of you. I heard someone said about the dialogue. Well, we established a dialogue. Jan Hicks, thank you so much. She's right there. 3 years ago, we have CEOs, we have presidents of businesses, we have people come from the streets, and we're dialoguing. Some of y'all read it in the paper. It comes once a month to your household, and we work hard trying to get a dialogue into the community. I mean hard. It's not easy when you say, well, let's get a dialogue, everybody come. No, because everybody don't want to talk to each other. That's why you see foot traffic's not coming down High Street, because people said, I don't feel comfortable. We hear these dialogues all the time from businesses and ordinary citizens. The mayor has to be a people person. I'm a people person. I've been working with people, broad sector. I lived in California. When I came back home, it's just like we got a multicultural, but no one's recognizing the multiculture as well as any other culture. It's a few people who's making decisions for many people. And as mayor, I would break that atmosphere because we got to reach down to everybody or reach up to everybody, whatever way you want to say. But we must come together as a whole because everyone in this room has great ideas. And we must build this community together.
Thank you very much. Let's move on to the third question.